Our last honoree is Omega Logan Silva, who has talk about barriers, broken so many barriers in her life. You know, it's just amazing to think of her as a chemistry major in college at a time when not too many women were doing that, or girls, as we were called then, and particularly for an African-American woman, and to go to medical school at a time when that was a very difficult thing for women to do, and for African Americans to do, and for African American women to do. So we're honored because she's also a member of our board of directors, and felt a little funny to be honoring her as a member of our board of directors, but we felt it would be discrimination to discriminate against her just because she's on our board of directors. So we're really thrilled to have her here and have her be a part of our center, and to thank her for all the wonderful things she's done and all the barriers she's broken for other women.
Thank you, Dr. Zuckerman, and the board of the National Research Center for Women and Families for this signal honor. Congratulations to my fellow Foremothers, Ms. Lubick, and Ms. Lubick's president and CEO happens to be my classmate. Where are you, Linda? And Ms. Reed. Thanks to all my friends and relatives who came to celebrate with me, the center and the other Foremothers. Will all of my friends and relatives just raise your hand? My daughter Frances, who had not yet gotten her letter of invitation to come to the luncheon, called to ask me about the award. Why are you getting this, she asked. I said, because I'm old. Over 70 is the first requirement for this award. I recalled a conversation with one of my girlfriends who told me the story of her nephew saying to her, "You are old, Aunt Jane." Whereupon Aunt Jane queried him, "Little Joey, how do you know I'm old?" Little Joey said to Aunt Jane, "I look at your neck." Well, I thought, what an astute observation for a little boy. Well, I thought, I am certainly not going to help this young man make this pronouncement about me. I went home and gave away all my dangling earrings. I said, he is not going to get any help with this observation. He will not follow the line of my earrings down to my neck ring. I also decided that he would not follow the line of my hair any longer than the angle of my jaw to those wrinkles either. He would just have to find them on his own. I also discovered, as one gets older, to qualify for the Foremother Award, that I no longer had the waist worth displaying with a belt. So I carefully wrapped all my belts, all 22 of them, in tissue paper, as it's done at Neiman Marcus. Put them in a nice gift bag and gave them to my girlfriend's young friend who had an hourglass figure with the 24-inch waist that I had when I was in high school and kept until I was way over 40. Now I wear the dresses which disguise the waist I once had and the rolls I now have in its place, all of which I can make disappear if I hold my hands way over here. All of you know gravity is not your friend. No matter how elated you are when you jump, you always come back to Mother Earth and do not float off into space, even though defying gravity would do old folks a world of good. However, saving money to have that first trip to outer space where there is no pull of gravity is not the answer, because we all want healthy, strong bones, which go to pot in outer space. What is a girl to do? Standing on our heads for a few hours starting early in life is the answer. Indeed, I got this award partly because of my age. Now to get to the serious and say something erudite as Diana wanted. My medical school class was 25% women, an unheard of number in 1963, when for the most part, women were still tokens. Howard University was leading the way in diversity and gender equity. Now, in 2010, most medical schools have 50% women, and some even more. It is predicted that in 2040, there will be equal numbers of men and women doctors in the medical profession. Presently, only 12% of women make full professor in the medical profession, even though the number of beginning assistant professors who are men and women is roughly the same. And the same is true of chemists in academia as well. I know that because I still get chemical and engineering news. I still think of myself as a chemist in a way. And those statistics are there. We can count the number of women deans on our hands. We can count the number of women CEOs of hospitals and clinics and insurance companies, but maybe women don't even want to be part of the insurance companies. We must be the leaders and we need to start as early as possible, like yesterday, someone mentioned that. We need leadership institutes and mentors to prepare us. I proposed a leadership institute for the American Medical Women's Association for medical doctors, similar to the program that Drexel University has for PhDs. I was a mentor at the American College of Physicians Women in Medicine luncheon last month. One young lady who seemed disillusioned about academia, where she had been employed mostly in the clinics since having her baby, was now thinking of returning to private practice, as she had done prior to her pregnancy. She was an assistant professor. She gave up her private practice because she wanted more time with her baby and couldn't maintain the practice anyway. My first question to her was, did she know what the qualifications were to advance to associate professor at her school? She needed a plan. If she were going back into private practice, had she factored in all the time necessary to make enough money to keep the practice afloat and have time for her child? How could she be successful? She needed a plan. In 2040, unless we are prepared to assume or already have assumed leadership roles in medicine, I'm afraid that we may be the worker bees and the men will still be running medicine as is true in Russia today. So my plea to all of you is to encourage leadership in women. Help them have a plan to move up as high as possible in whatever field they choose for their life's work. Thank you.